Hi, my name is Rubidium. Today we are talking light modification, and 3 different levels of using the industry standard tools that you can work at a pro level, a prosumer level, and a no budget level. When you start out in filmmaking, it can be intimidating because there's always something else you need to buy to get that professional effect. Sometimes this is true, but in the division of lighting, so much can be done with a very standard light as long as you know how to modify it. The 3 big modifications are diffusing light, that is making a small hard light apparently bigger by passing it through some kind of silk or fabric. Blocking out light, also known as negative fill, using duvetine or a black fabric. And reflecting light, getting light where you want it. This can involve mirrors, it can involve white fabric, or even silver umbrellas. For each of these 3 methods, I'm going to look at the professional way of doing it, the prosumer, semi-professional way of doing it, and a no-budget way that you can use for Home Depot style shooting. Let's start with diffusion. The industry standard in diffusion, and in actually most of these things, is a 4x4 frame. This is a 4 foot by 4 foot metal frame that you can stretch or skin with different fabrics, either permanently or semi-permanently. The advantage of this is you don't just have it straight up and down or side to side. You can put it in a C-stand and adjust it at any angle you want. The downside of this is most cars don't have a 4 foot opening. So you'll need a truck or something larger than a standard car to carry a 4x4 frame around. Matthews makes a great solution called the Road Flags Kit, which has 2 4x4 frames that break down as well as the accompanying flags. But most pro grip trucks will carry a couple dozen of these frames, skinned in different strengths and varieties of diffusion. A really great way of using diffusion without having to cut and tape it to the frames is to put a C-stand arm all the way out to the side, slide your roll of diffusion onto the C-stand arm, and then pull it down as far as you need it. This is a really great way to test different diffusions on your subject, or use them to diffuse a small light into a large light. A no budget or very low budget way of doing this is called a T-stop. You get a cheap $20 lighting stand, put an arm across it, you can even use PVC pipe, and then you put a shower curtain or some other fabric over the T-stop, and it gives you a very functional 4x4 diffusion. It's also called a T-bar or a T-frame. The disadvantage is that you can only get it vertical. It can't be horizontal because the fabric drapes down with gravity. Moving on to blocking light. The 4x4 frame can again be skinned with a solid duvetine fabric so that it blocks all light, which is really helpful for introducing negative fill into your subject. When there's just too much ambient light around and you want to create some shape back in your subject, you can sneak this in as close as you can get it into the frame, and it'll actually knock down one side and give you some more dimension. If you're using a standard 4x4 frame, either the collapsible variety or the solid variety, you can also use nets. Nets are, as the name describes, a finely woven net that blocks out some of the light without diffusing it any further. So if you like the harshness of the light, or you don't want to change the apparent size of the light, you can use a net just to knock down the stops. This can be really helpful for using the sun as a backlight. You don't want to diffuse it and make it go everywhere, but it's too strong for the dynamic range of the camera. So a double or triple net will knock it down and make it a little bit more manageable. Something that should be in every indie filmmaker's kit is a big roll of duvetine. You can throw this on the ground to stop the bounce coming back and reflecting on your characters. You can A-clamp it to a wall or a gutter to make an entire area blacked off and introduce negative fill that way. If duvetine is too expensive and too bulky, you can use black plastic tablecloths available at a lot of department stores to throw over windows to black them out, or use them in a T-bar like the diffusion. Reflecting light is a great way to get light where you want it from where it is. Again, the Pro 4x4 version is available in all kinds of dimpled silver. Westcott makes an amazing 6-foot umbrella, which is around $100. On a lighting stand with a gobo head, this can be a great way to get the sun wherever you want it for not very much money. For the no budget level, silver insulation board or beadboard available from hardware stores is a really great way to reflect light up into a subject's eyes, to get the sun where you want it. You can even get it in a big sheet that you can break in half, tape up, and use as a V-flat. This allows you to have freestanding reflection that you can use as fill for your shots. Just make sure to have someone hold it, or don't use it outside on a windy day because the slightest puff of air is going to knock it over. That is our look at the 3 main functions of light modification, how you can do them at a pro level, at a prosumer level, and a no budget level. These are by no means exclusive. There are plenty of studio gaffers and grips that use insulation and beadboard and duvetine to do what they do. It's great to know all the tricks out there so you can get the most out of your filmmaking. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.